Hitting send and regretting it, snapping at someone we care about or even a stranger, getting involved in internet conflict. We've all had moments we're not proud of, and there's no use in beating ourselves up over that. But there is use in learning from those experiences, and oh, have I learned. So it's my belief that the absolute majority of conflict, misunderstandings, and hurt feelings could be avoided, or at least less intense, if people responded rather than reacted to situations. Or if they stayed silent, which is golden, as the Tremoloists sang. And that's the premise of today's conversation. It's easy in theory, yet often difficult in practice. I mean, I can think of a handful of situations in my life where it would have probably been better had I stayed silent for a moment rather than word vomiting. Don't look at me like that, like you cannot relate. There is nothing that strengthens the ego more than being right. Being right is identification with a mental position, a perspective, an opinion, a judgment, a story. For you to be right, of course, you need someone else to be wrong. As so, the ego loves to make wrong in order to be right. There he is again, Eckhart Tolle calling us all out. This feeling of needing or wanting to react to situations can be triggered by smaller and bigger things. Anything from, no, I did not lose your keys, Derek, I gave them to you, to political issues. And besides adrenaline and emotions and our unique triggers that cause our often autopilot-like reactions to conflict, confrontation, and the like, if we're honest, there is a bit of ego in there somewhere too, isn't there? It's the need to be right, to prove something, to prove our point, to defend and protect our position and our image, perhaps. It's a temptation that is, difficult to resist. The ego shall be stroked like that of a kitty cat. And it may be warranted. Why should we not stand up for ourselves and our beliefs? And are we supposed to just hold our emotions in? If I feel like yelling, why can't I just yell? If I feel like sending an angry text, why can't I just send it? Well, no one is saying that you can't. I for sure am not telling anyone that they can't. You can do whatever you want. I too have been in plenty of situations where rationality has just gone out the window because certain things just needed to be said. However, what I personally have found through the years is that when I give in to the emotions I may be feeling in the heat of the moment and act on them, I almost always end up feeling worse, more upset, more angry, more hurt, perhaps even ashamed. And not only me, oftentimes the other person ends up feeling hurt and angry and upset too. And also, I almost always in those situations feel like I did not even get my point across, causing even more miscommunication and misunderstanding. So what may an alternative be? So the concept here is simple in theory. Instead of immediately reacting, I practice pausing, because pausing even just for a moment can make a major difference in how I feel and how I think, and hence the outcome of a situation. And after pausing, which can be, however long depending on the situation, I reevaluate and I present two alternatives to myself. Option A, I respond. Option B, I stay silent. So let's go over option A first and talk about the difference between reacting and responding. So reactions are immediate, it's almost automatic, like an impulse, and it's basically entirely based on our current emotional state, and it comes before any processing of thoughts and feelings has been made, and it doesn't take long-term consequences into consideration. Responding is when our answer is more thought out. It's purposeful and with intention, and that does not mean that it always goes the way that we want to, but it's when you hit send and you feel like those words are in line with your values and beliefs. It's thoughtful, and unlike reacting, it does consider the long-term consequences. Now, how about option B, staying silent? We need to pick our battles carefully. It's not my saying, but it is something that I say all the time. Not everything needs our reaction or our response. No one has the mental energy for that. Now, I cannot tell you when silence is the better option for you, but I do have 2 rules of thumb that I try to stick to. So rule of thumb number 1, if it regards someone that I care about or whose relationship or opinion I value, I will respond because, I want to understand and I want to hear, and I want them to understand and hear me as well. So for one reason or the other, it matters to me. And if not, then silence will typically be my go-to. Rule of thumb number 2 is that I try to read the person and their intentions as best as I can. So is this person open for conversation, or are they looking to get into conflict? Do they want to solve this, or do they just want to, rant and be right? And will they even care and pay attention to what I have to say? Now, of course, we don't always have the answers to these questions, but oftentimes we do have a hunch. And if it seems that what this person is looking for is simply an argument, or to provoke, or to prove their point, then staying silent, I would say, is the better option. In the words of Will Rogers, never miss a good chance to shut up.